Fallen soldier and I belong. The hidden meaning, trained in the shadow.
This Mixtape Meeko from thelookout.com. You know, I'm gonna take y'all digging with me today. And you know, we was just in Europe, but we didn't get to go digging. I mean, Sugar Free, he got to go to a spot in the UK with this producer, and that's about it. Like me and Speedy didn't get to go digging, you know, and we can go digging today. And as far as the Euro tour, you can check out the episode. At least one of them should be available by now. So I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So make sure y'all check that out. Now, you know, today we're gonna kind of get deep into, you know, the art of digging. We're gonna kind of get deep into it. But from my point of view, the art of sampling, you know, digging is a part of it. You know, that's like the first step. You know, you got to get the sample. So, but at the same time, digging is an art in itself. And you know, I love it just as much as I love doing beats. You know, I just like the environment, that record stores, like just that whole atmosphere, you know, the aura that it gives off and everything. So we're gonna go to Vintage Vinyl up here in Canada. You know, we're gonna go in there and do a little bit of digging. We're gonna do some on the spot digging. Now for me, when I go digging, I just like, it's 3 different types of digging that I do. Either it's gonna be on the spot, it's gonna be concentrated digging, or it's gonna be digging, you know, 2 times. Say it 2 times. On the spot digging, that's what I'm doing today. That's when you just go in there, you know, you get maybe 3 or 4, you know, just a few records, just a handful. You go, you're not even in there for that long, you just get a few records. Or like if you're out and about and you just happen to run into a record store, like you may be in a new area, you happen to run into a record store, and you just, you know, get a few records from there. So that's on the spot digging. Now concentrated digging, that's when, you know, you're gonna sit down and listen to the album before you buy them. And then that's when I recommend getting you a portable record player. You know, because like if you're going to a spot you've never been to, they may not have record players in there. So that's what concentrated digging is. And that's when you're gonna be in there for the longest. You know, like I can already, you know, with doing on the spot digging, I can be in there for hours. You know, so if I'm gonna do concentrated digging, I pretty much need to go when they first open up, when the store opens. Now, the third type of digging is, you know, digging, that's what I call it. And that's when you're going in there with the purpose of getting a lot of records. Well, I mean, sometimes you don't even go in there with the purpose of getting a lot, but you come out with a lot. So, you know, and that's when you're gonna come out with a lot of crates or, you know, just armfuls of records. And when you first starting out, you know, building your record collection, that was the focus for me, you know, hitting the dollar bins up, and I still hit those up too, because you can find some good stuff in the dollar bins. I mean, now, you know, I look at everything else more. You know, I spend more on the record because I actually listen to the records, like it's not just sampling, you know, because from, you know, when I first started with digging, it was, you know, just for samples. And then, you know, as I was, you know, I started to become familiar with a lot of the artists, and then I noticed like the music, the albums, these were actually good albums, like solid put together albums. So like now I actually like listening to them, so I spend a little more on the record. But you know, if you're out of town, if you're in a position where you have to mail records back to yourself or to anybody, make sure that you send it, make sure that you tell them that it's media mail. And you know, it pretty much you pay less. Now, you know, for me, digging is like, it's like therapy for me. I love, you know, I just love digging. I love it just as much as making a beat. You know, at the same time, you know, I love art. I like all types of art. That's why I'm into the video editing, the music production, you know, photography, videography, and all that artwork, and I actually like looking at art. So, you know, when you're in the record store, you go into these crates and the different records. You know, each album is art. You know, it's art. Like the covers of it is art. So it's kind of like you in an art gallery. You know, that's why they call them album artwork, because it's art, it's pieces of art. And a lot of the times I'll buy records based on the artwork. Like if it's a piece of art that just, you know, reaches out to me in a certain type of way, I'll get it. It could be a folk record, no instruments on it, and I'll get it based on the artwork alone. You know, so and as far as like the artwork, like if it's like one of those, like if I'm in the jazz section or any type of section, and I just see like a just peaceful looking cover, just that, you know, just I don't know, it's like a relaxing. Some of the covers they're just relaxing. Now I'll get there, and also like with the soul records, if it's like if the artist on the front of the cover is looking fly, you know, with the suit and the asphalt and everything, I'll get that too. You know, and the females, like a lot of the Diana Ross, just, you know, these fly on the front cover. So, you know, for female artists, if it's a record like that, I'll get it. And Ohio Players, you know, they had those freaky covers. I always, whenever I see theirs, I get one of theirs. So I'm actually see if they got some Ohio Players today. I actually never checked for Ohio Players in this spot, because here the soul is mixed in, like the rock and the soul is all mixed in together. So, you know, so like you actually spend a lot more time, like now you're going through soul art, you know, artists and rock artists at the same time. It's not separated. So, oh yeah, and then the 45s, I don't really get 45s that much no more. I did starting out, but you know, I'll every once in a while I'll browse the 45s, especially like, you know, if I'm starting to be familiar with certain artists. So if I see one of their records, you know, I'll check that out. But you know, I'm mainly on the albums, and that's because, like I said earlier, I like to listen to them. Because with these records, you know, to me, it's new music, because a lot of these, you know, records are way before my time, so I've never heard of these artists before. You know, not unless it's like somebody really popular. Like, of course, we heard of, you know, Diana Ross and the Supremes or James Brown. You know, of course, we know those people, but a lot of the artists, most of them I never heard of. And you know, when I listen to it, it's new music, and that's like one of the reasons how the Lookout came together, because you know, we like listening to hip hop. You know, some people may call it real hip hop, you know, that certain type of sound. And in order to find it, you gotta search real hard on the internet. Like you gotta just, you know, you gotta search for like lost treasure. So I mean, you don't have to do it no more, because you got lookout.com. You just go there, browse through the pages, you're gonna find a lot of good authentic hip-hop music. And you know, I playlist and everything. So, you know, that's what that's all about now. Now with the records, like I said, you're listening to new artists, but what makes it unique to me is that, you know, back in the 70s, 60s and beyond that, you know, a lot of the music, most of the music was from the heart. Like the majority of it was from the heart, and you can feel it more. It's more felt than today's music, where, you know, it's like we're in that monkey see, monkey do type of thing, and you know, and it's all about following the latest trends, and it's like not that many people are being original. I mean, there are a lot of artists out there that are original, and their music comes from the heart, but to be honest with you, it's hard to find. Like you gotta dig for it. So that's another thing that makes these records unique. Like, it's not even all about sampling to me anymore. It's about listening to good music. You know, whenever I'm looking at the records, you know, I look at the back of them, and some of the things I look at the year. You know, with the year, you know, a lot of the time you can kind of get somewhat of an idea of the sound of the album. Like, not exactly what it's going to sound like, you know, because, you know, certain years the music sounded a certain way, so you can kind of get like a head start on it. That's if you don't know the artist. Like, if you know who the artist is, you can pretty much know what their music is going to sound like. But I look at the year, and the other thing I look at is the instruments, because it'll show who plays what instruments. And then sometimes it shows like on each song, like this song, the bass is played by this person, the guitar, you know, the keyboard is played by this person. So I look at the instruments, and that, you know, especially if you're sampling, that's giving you an idea of what you're about to listen to. You know, like what instruments you can expect to hear. And, you know, and I definitely look at that if I'm, you know, out searching for a particular sound. Like sometimes I'm like, you know, I wanna sample piano, some sample piano keys. So, you know, the first thing I look at is, you know, the back of the album.